To me, it's everything, apart from, after family.
We each do our own things, but Hull City is the one thing we both share together.
It's in the blood. My grandfather was absolutely passionate about Hull City, and his father before him.
We just loved supporting them. We were big fans. It didn't matter whether we won or lost.
First of all, I'll tell you that I saw the first match at Bullfrey Park, and it was teaming down the rain. It was against Lincoln City. It was 0-0.
I go back to when Raish Carter first joined the club, and I remember when Hull City drew Manchester United, and there was over 50,000 people there.
Footballers were my heroes. Like so many of us, they're on a pedestal. We adulate them.
Jock Davison, for instance, kicked everything that moved.
Bill Bradbury's my hero. He was a bit of a devil, really, and he was a goal scorer in the late 50s.
Viggo Jensen. Well, that's how, or maybe Jensen. He was Danish, of course. He played all over the place, scored lots of goals.
Billy Whitehurst, one of my favourite players. He was my ideal centre forward.
Chris Chilton. He was just a marvellous, marvellous player, and it's great that they named the stand after him.
My father used to play in goal for Hull City. His name was William Bligh. He's still to this day the longest serving player, 23 years.
And one particular match, he'd obviously got injured, but his feet were all right, so he was on the right wing. Of course, no one would tackle him, would they? So we didn't have substitutes in those days, remember?
My dad used to tell me quite clearly that his job was a painter and decorator, a house decorator. I didn't really kick into it until I actually went to a match sometime afterwards. But I was quite proud and to learn of the stories and how good he was.
Really, the club turned much upwards, really, when we got Ken Wagstaff, and we already had Chris Chilton, and we then brought in Ken Houghton and Ian Butler, and it completely transformed the team. Scoring goals, that was the main thing. Attacking football, it was brilliant.
Chelsea away, 1966 I think it was, in the sixth round of the FA Cup. Seeing Ken Wagstaff, he gets the ball, Jinx goes round Bonetti, slots it in, he's swinging on the post. I always remember that, and there's a picture of it in the Sports Mail of him swinging on this post, waving to the City fans. He scored at the end we were at.
The late 60s and 70s, I found the football more exciting. It was end-to-end, a lot more goals being scored. There seemed to be more freedom.
We've seen the good times, we've seen the bad times, we've been locked out the stadium more than once. You just keep coming.
The Great Escape season, we were, at Christmas time, we were bottom of the league, very well sort of out of it, and just gradually up throughout that season we climbed up the league, managed to escape, and from then things were better.
And then I think the move to the new stadium in 2002 was the catalyst. The experience of visiting the football ground was completely different from standing on the terraces at Boothbury Park.
I think there was about 2,000 fans went down to Yeovil, but there was about 2,000 fans in the Vulcan Arena, and the atmosphere was fantastic. And to cement it, we needed to win that day. The beanbag was giving us was absolutely fantastic for Ian Ashby's curling goal into the top right-hand corner.
Stuart Elliott, another player that people will know and relate to his faith, a young Irish lad, of course. When he came down from Scotland, he would only go to a club where he could find a church he could link to. And there was a pastor in Hull who he knew from Northern Ireland.
I think the best player I've ever seen play for City was JJ Okocha. I thought he was magic.
But the biggest thing for me was promotion to the Premiership, as it was. I'd been waiting all those years for First Division football, and then it was the Premiership in 2008-09, wasn't it?
Suddenly that moment of magic of Dino and the goal that got us into the Premiership, that has to be, for every Hull City fan who was involved at that stage, the most memorable moment, the dream that we'd never thought would come to little old Hull.
I went for the double header at in the Premiership at London. Playing at Arsenal and getting a win there, and then going to Spurs and winning 1-0. It was like being in I don't know, Disneyland. You were just, it was just great.
Some players, you connect with, and of course, in some cases, you get players, and especially overseas players, who come with very strong faith. Thinking of Giovanni, who came up from Brazil, totally focused on his faith, his Christian faith.
James Chester, seen him score a goal at Wembley in the cup final.
Oh, that was absolutely wonderful. Just to see all those Hull City supporters in that sort of environment was absolutely fabulous. And that was a day I shall never forget.
I'm proud to support Hull City because I've made my home in Hull.
It's difficult to say what it is. It's in here, and I can't let go of it.
It's the bug, isn't it? Once you get that bug, and especially with your hometown, I think it means more than supporting your Premier League teams.
But no matter whether at home or away, you follow the City. You don't stop going because they've lost, you just keep going till the next game.
You're just hoping this year it's going to happen. We're going to go up, and hopefully with these new owners and in time, we'll get there again. But I just love it.